podcast.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a podcast?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and
podcast.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to mother. Just kidding. Go ahead. I'm not gonna steal your shine. Not gonna steal your shine.
Let me clear my throat.
Oh, I hope you don't mind. Let me clear my throat.
And welcome to Get to the Podcast. That's Get to the Podcast with the number 2. My name is Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
Today we're going to talk about fall films getting ready to come out, or
Yeah.
maybe some of them have come out already. I don't know. I really don't know you guys' list that we're excited about, or we're hoping good things for them.
Yeah. Like the movies we're most excited to see this fall. We
Exactly.
always like to do a seasonal list for everybody, right?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
we did a summer list, we
We're
did a
gonna
fall
prep you.
list. Yeah, we're gonna do a winter list.
Yeah.
You know, we just want to say, hey, here's the movies coming out. This is what you should. Now, fall tends to be kind of a whatever month when it comes to movies.
I don't know. Some heavy hitters.
Used to
it
used to
There's
be
a lot of
kind
love films.
but it's not. Basically, you're not going to get a lot of your huge summer blockbuster films like summer and winter. Though that's kind of changing. We do have 1 or 2 on our list.
Usually
that
in
are
fall,
summer
there's a lot of good feeling films.
Yes.
That it starts off this.
Unless
that
it's Halloween.
Christmas-
Unless it's Halloween.
Unless it's Halloween.
Even around
unless you're
Christmas,
a murderer,
there's
it
been,
might be a
like-
good feeling film if something comes out.
I feel like there's been a lot of like Christmas horror films coming out the last couple of years, which
Yeah, that's
seems
true.
weird. Like
That's
Christmas
messed up.
Day, come see Krampus.
Yeah,
or
I saw
something.
I
And
Am
I'm like,
Legend.
what?
I saw I Am Legend on Christmas Day.
Are you serious?
That's
Yeah.
crazy. It's weird.
It's
Wait,
a
did anybody
weird
watch
beat.
Krampus
Yeah.
on Christmas Day?
I actually watched it Christmas Eve with
you
my
serious?
family.
You did?
Not
Like-
in the theaters, but my
Wasn't that, like, a
brother-in-law
year or two
bought
ago?
it, and he was like, "You got to see this movie," and he
I
put it
would
on
never.
Christmas Eve. I was like, "What are we watching?"
I
'Cause
would
it's
never.
nuts.
I literally am like
It's a good movie though.
My whole Christmas Day and Christmas Eve is all like a Norman Rockwell painting for me. Like I'm wearing my button-down shirt. I've got my hair
got your
gelled.
PJ.
I'm being
Blue
nice.
sky.
I'm saying words like
White
swell.
Christmas is on the screen.
I'm saying words like swell and white power and all that. It's crazy.
You got your hot chocolate with marshmallows.
Exactly. I do that.
Wow.
All right, so who's gonna start this off?
I always don't look at me. I always start
Neil,
off.
I think you
All right,
should
you want-
start.
you wanna go?
You want me to go? You want
Yeah,
to go?
let Neil start. I don't think Neil has ever started it off.
No, I
Has he?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Once. He's
Maybe
never
once.
prepared. That's why
Never
Neil
prepared.
is like a
I'm
freaking.
literally working on my list as we're talking.
He just comes in here like a tornado. His hair's all mussed up. He's got no hair. I'm just kidding.
When it's his turn, he's like finalizing his list. All right, guy, my list.
yeah,
My guys.
He's like, you guys go first. He's like the guy at the restaurant when he's like, you order first. Okay, when it gets to me, I'll know.
If you go back and listen to all the previous podcasts, like while we're discussing everyone else's list, I'm preparing.
You're
my list.
scrolling
Like,
through
that's
your-
why I always
yeah. He's like, how do I top that?
It's true. It's true. I'm trying to one up everybody.
You are.
And
Okay.
It usually works.
All right,
It
make some.
usually
You
works.
usually make some noise, Neil.
All right, so the first film on which I actually just discovered recently,
Yeah.
very recently, this film called The Snowman with Michael Fassbender. It's a
Rebecca
murder.
Ferguson
Yeah, Rebecca
from the
Ferguson's
Mission
in
Impossible
it.
movies.
Chloe Sevigny. How do you pronounce that last name?
Sevigny.
Saveni.
Saveni.
Yeah.
Saveni.
It's
I don't
J.K.
know.
Simmons. There's a bunch of people's in it. The trailer looks.
J.K.
anyway.
Simmons has a British accent in this film.
Oh, does he? I didn't
Yeah,
notice
like
that.
if you watch he's got like a British accent. I'm like, J.K. Simmons doing a British accent. I mean, he's a great actor.
How does
It's
it
just-
sound?
He always sounds the same in every
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, he's amazing though.
Oh, he's
like anything he's
amazing.
in, he's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's basically like it's like a crime drama thriller. It's like that Michael Fassbender's like hunting this serial killer who's basically just murdering people in some. It looks like some remote region. I don't know exactly where it takes place, but
Seems it's a rural area.
like yeah, it's like
Yeah.
up in Alaska somewhere.
There's snow.
That kind
We know
of like,
this.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of snow.
Yeah.
And he murders people and then puts them into like makes them into a snowman, like their
Yeah.
body, like encases their body in snow.
Right.
And like props him up in different locations. It's like a cat and mouse game.
Right.
between
It
the
doesn't
cop
look
and
like
the-
a cheap B movie type of way. Like
Oh,
you
no.
can say that and then it sounds like, oh, that sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it looks like solidly filmed. Great. They got great actors. Michael
Yeah.
Fassbender.
I mean, yeah, and when the
He's
reason
great.
I like thrillers, like, and I feel like we don't talk a lot about thrillers that much on the podcast, but one of my favorite genres is thrillers. But this one just caught my eye when I saw the trailer. It has like a like whoever was the director of photography on it, like the cinematography looks incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
yeah.
the way it's shot, the
It looks
angles.
masterfully shot.
Yeah, and even the set pieces, like there's like these random shots throughout the trailer where it's just like these totally surreal locations, like this, like as he gets closer to catching the serial killer, it just gets more and more abstract. And to me, those are kind of like the best thrillers.
Yeah.
Like you don't know, like it's not like a campy like throwaway thriller, you know, where it's like the brother of the cop or the brother of the detective or so, whatever, like some obvious twist. I like that it's like, esoteric. Like to me, those are more fun.
It looks like more of a heady, elevated. It looked like erudite kind of thriller. Like it's
What's that
working
show
on a more
on
psychological level. It seems smarter. It seems like a smarter thriller.
Like it has it had like a 7.
Yeah, not
vibe
just
to it
exactly like a 7 vibe, but it's not just about violence.
That show on
True Detective.
True Detective.
Yeah. That is actually kind of what it reminded me of. True
love
Detective.
the first season of that show.
Yeah.
Here's
amazing.
the thing. I skim through Trailer Addict and movie to try to see new trailers that come out to see what's coming out, what's new and stuff like. And when I saw Snowman, I skipped it because I totally like.
I thought it was I saw the title.
The
Totally
poster looks
yeah.
hokey and the title looks hokey.
Exactly.
But when you watch the trailer,
you're like, oh.
And when you see here's the thing: you see Michael Fassbender's name attached to anything, give it a shot. Like
I do want to see Assassin's Creed, even though I'm not a big fan.
I saw it.
He always delivers.
Is it good?
He's probably good in it, at least.
I mean, I played Assassin's Creed like the first and the second one. I haven't played any of the 12 sequels that have come out.
It's sad because I feel like they could have done a lot better with it. Is he a great actor? He's just a great actor.
Yeah.
He's just a good actor.
He will never
his
suck.
subtlety is incredible.
Yeah.
His subtlety, and that's how he is in the majority of his film. He has this subtlety to him that just makes him like, you're like, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? Yeah, exactly. So but Assassin's Creed, it wasn't that great, but he was great in it.
Yeah, so Snowman, he's in it.
Yeah, so,
and again, give it a shot. Just go check out the trailer.
Yeah.
When does it come out?
This film is arriving to theaters near you.
You piece of shit. You unprepared piece of shit.
No, I do have it. It's coming out.
No,
Wow.
you can't say I haven't.
But I
after you read.
I didn't have it open.
Okay. That's
All
she said.
right. All right.
Still, this movie's coming out to theaters.
It's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Is that good enough? Does
no,
that help?
It's not.
You're trying to build it up, right?
It's coming out October 20th, actually, so it's not too far away.
Okay, October 20th.
Yeah.
Cool. That's in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. What's the next one you got?
So, I forgot to mention that also Val Kilmer is in The Snowman.
Yeah.
Which
wow.
is crazy because he's not in the trailer.
He's not in the trailer.
So I'm like,
is he the killer?
Yeah. If he is, that would be amazing.
I wonder.
He needs to come back. Like, where has he been hiding?
Yeah, they better not be doing a Kevin Spacey kind of thing with Seven, where it's like you don't know. They never credited him. He wasn't in any of the trailers or whatever.
I wish they would do that on films like this.
I know.
They just hide
IMDb
that
might
from
kill
you.
it though if they end up on the IMDb list. They'd have to make sure their names aren't credited anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only way. And then all of a sudden, like,
I don't know how they pulled that off with Tropic
You get to the end
Thunder.
of the movie, and it's like John Travolta steps out of the dark, and he's the killer the whole time. Or like
That's what Tropic
Donny
Thunder.
Osmond or something.
Remember in
Jerry
Tropic
Springer.
Thunder with Cruise or whatever? Like I don't remember looking on
Les Grossman,
IMDb, but I feel like I had no idea that he was in that movie, and I didn't even know it was him initially. And then I was like, "Fucking guy looks
That was
familiar."
incredible.
That was
I
a
love
great film.
I love
Yeah.
how like when he I know this is total tangent, but he was like, he's like, I want to play the guy with big hairy hands. I want to be bald. I want to wear glasses and have chest hair, and I want to dance. He said all that to Ben Stiller, and he's like, "What?" I was like, "That's amazing."
I love Tom
That was
Cruise
amazing,
for all you
yeah.
Tom Cruise haters.
Yeah, F y'all.
All right, so the next one is it's a big one. I mean, I feel like everybody's going to see this movie. I think it's just called Star Wars Episode
8.
8: The
Never
Last
heard of
Jedi.
it.
Last Jedi.
Never heard of it.
Never heard
Yeah.
of it.
Never heard of it.
No.
So it's
It's
The Last
Cool.
Jedi.
I'm sorry, Star
Wars.
Star Hose?
Star Wars.
Star
That's a totally
Wars.
different
Star
production team right there, bro.
Well, shit, I got the wrong movie on here. Star Wars. That's what it is.
Last
Star
Jedi.
Wars: The Last Jedi. No, we love Star Wars. We're not.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one
I'm
looks
excited
really
for this.
good. Ryan Johnson. Or
What did
Rain
he-
Johnson.
What
He
what
did
else
Looper.
Oh, I still
Oh,
have
yeah.
not seen that movie.
What?
Are you kidding
I
me?
mentioned this to you, and every time I say this, you're like, "You need to see that fucking movie."
It's a great
it's
film.
a good
Both
movie.
of you
It's
guys
a
have
great
said this.
First off,
today,
it's
like,
Bruce
great
Willie. It's Bruce Willie.
I
It's a really
I
good
know.
film.
I
It
do
really
wanna
is
see it.
interesting. It's like a different take. It switches. it's not like your normal humdrum sci-fi film.
Yeah.
It's really solid. We should watch it.
Yeah. We will.
Yeah.
But
so this guy, yeah, go ahead. So Rain Johnson is doing this. So tell us.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It looks really good. I mean, it's apparently it's got a lot of cameos from a lot of different actors. I was just looking on there, the IMDb, like Tom Hardy is listed as a stormtrooper.
They did it with Daniel Craig in the last one too.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. It looks good. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I love Star Wars and the universe is great. And Rogue One was really good. I really enjoyed Rogue One. I feel like it's going to be a solid movie. I don't. It's a familiar universe, so I'm excited because it's familiar. But I'm like also like I don't know. Am I just going to get like the last movie, which was good and very entertaining? And I was very entertained.
Right.
Am I just going to get like more of the same?
Right. Well, I think if you
I'm
watch
excited,
the trailer,
but I'm not like.
The trailer does look like it has some incredible shots in it, though. Like, there's like visually, it looks like
I think
they
Rogue
did
One
not just go, oh, we'll just throw it. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the prequels, you can't name one
Last
great
Jedi-
shot in the prequels. There's not like a great visual cinematography. Would you? No, there's not.
There is.
No, it wasn't about that. Nobody was trying to be like, let's be really artistic.
Are you talking about from the first films that came out? Not
the prequels? No,
You know
the
what?
ones from the '90s and the 2000s.
No, there was cinematic shots.
All right, whatever.
No,
Anyways,
there were.
Oh, okay. Name one.
That's
but okay, cool.
that's the whole. Hold on. That's the whole Star Wars universe. They give you this cinematic feel, this grandeur. Yeah.
No.
Even in the,
Name one thing that didn't
even
seem like a
Phantom
unique
Phantom one. Even when it came to the what's the pod racing, the racing and
name
stuff,
one shot in there
they
that
gave you this. They gave you this aerial shot to give you this grand event. Even though they made the people were actually if nobody knew, the people were actually
CG.
No, they were what do you call them? The thing you clean your ear.
Q-tips?
Q-tips. They were Q-tips.
Okay.
Yeah, so they did this grand event feel to the shot where they give this aerial view like
That's
it was
very
a huge
normal
event.
though.
No, but it's still grand.
It doesn't
I don't know
stand out. No, I'm just saying that like it just
even
was,
showing
it was,
half
it was
of
cookie cutter. Like
even how they show planets.
It was but it's just a very normal shot. They weren't trying to do anything new. What I'm trying to say is, if you watch the episode 8 trailer, there's certain shots in that that like wow, that looks a little different. Like they did that from a different angle, or they just made it like the scope look different. Like it just looks like there's a lot more thought put into it. Whereas with Star Wars and the prequels, it looks like he's like, I'm talking about the universe. I'm showing you stuff. There's a lot of CG, but he wasn't like stepping back and trying to be artistic in a blockbuster. He wasn't trying to do artsy things within a blockbuster. Of course you do.
I totally disagree.
I know you do.
Well, no,
I
it's
disagree
not
with
because I
reason.
think
You
I
disagree
disagree
with
because
reason. I understand
how they
that.
show the planets, because they introduced new planets in it, and how they show the cities.
Yeah.
And show
I feel
there was
like-
grand shots and stuff. But you have to understand that when you look at Rogue One,
I ain't gotta
and
understand shit.
when you look at Rogue One and you look at the storyline for Star Wars, where it's a storyline that we all know from Luke Skywalker and stuff, they're done differently.
Yeah.
They're done differently.
Oh,
Rogue One is
feels
shot
like
it
completely
feels
different.
different.
That's
And
more what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm trying to say.
the last Jedi.
I'm not saying it's not art. Everything's art, obviously.
No, you say
There's-
that it's not artistically.
No,
Don't
you get
back
what
up
I'm-
your shit. Back up your shit,
No,
bro.
but no. I said it's different. It's a very different thing. That artsy art feel, like that very like somebody's coming in with a fresh take on it, who's trying to put some sort of like their own stamp on it in a very unique vision, and they're really thinking
You
of
notice
each
he's
shot.
being very specific to be right.
No, but
And they had a cell
you
phone
know
in the
exactly what I'm
shot.
talking about, motherfucker. Because even Force Awakens didn't do a lot of that.
So I will say, like in the prequels and in Force Awakens, there's like, especially in the prequels, he establishes the world
Yes.
far more than the original Star Wars did, and I feel like they could now, because with the prequels, he had CG and he created like that entire planet that's like one giant city. That was actually really cool.
Yeah.
You know, it had like a little bit of like a Blade Runner thing going on, like that whole city, and then like even where Princess Amidala, Natalie Portman's character lived, like that whole planet where they had the war or
I'm not saying there weren't cool elements.
There were some
to
cool
it.
epic-ish feeling scenes.
I'm
They
just
were like
saying, we
grand in
watched-
scale, but it didn't feel artistic like.
So in
architecture.
the 8 trailer, like there's even simple shots like where it shows Luke in that cave with that opening behind him, where the lights behind him and it's dark in the foreground and everything like that. Like that shot just looked way cooler and it added a lot of presence and like omniscience to the
Well, you're not
sky.
talking about art then. We're talking about tone. Because the
So
tone
that's
of the
different.
I never
prequels is
mentioned
wildly.
tone. I'm
That's
not-
different.
I'm
That's
not-
what the
promise
difference
you,
is. Like
eight's
Rogue
gonna keep-
One has a
No, I just
completely
think
different tone.
I just think 8 looks awesome. Like visually looks
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
no.
I think they've just been moving in that direction, starting
Which
with
I
Force Awakens,
like.
and Rogue One, and then it looks like this new one is even taking it to another level. And I think they brought a fresh set of eyes in it. That's a unique guy with Looper. He did a lot with very little in Looper. You haven't seen it, but he did. He did very cool shit in that movie with a small budget.
But I don't think the film is gonna. I think the film is still gonna keep to the same way the other films.
Of course, it's got to tie into the universe. But I think what I'm trying to say. What I'm actually trying to fucking say is that I think it's cool they brought another guy in, a new guy in with a very unique vision, a unique eye, and he's bringing his own style and element to it, so it feels like there's a more of a hungry, unique artistic vision.
Are you saying that
into it and into the shots? The shots look like he was like, all right, we could do this shot very by the numbers, or we could go, let's do it like this. And let's flip it a little bit.
Well, they have to.
I know.
Are you saying basically
this is the 8th or 9th film?
I think what you're saying. Are you saying that Rogue One gave you just a fresh feel to Star Wars?
Yes.
Okay.
And then so I'm saying that
I understand what you're saying.
Based on the trailer of Last Jedi.
You could have just said that, Nick.
You could have just said that.
You could have said that shit.
You motherfucker.
Because everything like Star Wars is a cinematic film.
They all feel grand.
They all redundant. Of course, it's a cinematic film. You piece of shit.
He's trying to flip this shit.
You stupid science bitches.
Epic. There's an epic scope to Star Wars. Star Wars always feels epic, and it's like
yes, and that wasn't the word I was using, and that's why I kept saying it was.
We don't know what you were using
because you're not listening.
All right.
Everybody who's listening to this is gonna be like, "Oh, Nick, you're right, man." My fans. God. What are we gonna call my fans? The Nickites.
The
Nicolites.
The Nicolites. So I had no idea, but this director, he directed 2 films that I fucking love. A film called Brick, which was one of his earlier films. It came out in 2005. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah, with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, right?
Yes.
Who was also in Looper.
Yeah, he was in Looper. Yeah, it's like a film noir told in like a high school with high school kids, and it's like it's such a it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's just like it takes that whole film noir detective story and then puts it in like a high school setting.
That's awesome.
Which like if you're in if you were ever in high school and you watch this movie, you're like, this is crazy because you're like, you can just imagine you being that situation.
What's high school?
It's like it's fantastic.
Right.
And he also did The Brothers Bloom, which I fucking love.
Oh wow.
That was oh god, Rachel Weisz, Adrian Brody, Mark Ruffalo. Fantastic movie. Very, very funny and heartfelt film. Anyway,
yeah.
It sounds like we're all definitely excited for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And I think
and it's the continuation of the main Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get answers. We're finally seeing Luke Skywalker talk and speak for the first time since 1983.
He's talked in like a million different things.
No, as Luke Skywalker. He didn't show up until the end of Force Awakens and didn't say a goddamn word. We're going to hear Luke Skywalker for the first time since 1983, 34
He's
years.
right, Neil.
Not Mark Hamill.
Right. He's technically
Luke Skywalker.
Right. Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker.
That's not true at all. He's not a fucking Jedi. He ain't moving shit with his mind.
We don't know that.
You don't know that. Nobody likes you. Shut up. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one.
All right. So the next film in my amazing list of films is Murder on the Orient Express.
What?
Dun dun dun.
Yes. This is the second theatrical film to come out. There have been several TV.
Yeah. It was an
films.
Agatha Christie novel.
Yeah,
right?
Agatha Christie wrote this novel. Came out like 1934
Wow.
or something. It's been around for a long time, based on the Hercule Poirot character, which is kind of like her Sherlock Holmes, essentially.
Okay. Right.
I love the trailer.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. It's Kenneth Branagh plays the main character, Hercule Poirot, who's the Belgian detective,
and
essentially, who ends up in all these scenarios where he has to solve.
Of course, in
crazy-ass
these type
murders.
of film, you know who's always in it? Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, well of course. I mean, the cast is incredible in this film. Kenneth Branagh directed the film, and he plays the main character. But Johnny Depp is in this film. Surprisingly, Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
Ridley. Michelle Pfeiffer, Penelope Cruz, Judi Dench, Josh Gad, who we've seen in a bunch of new stuff recently.
I love Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, it looks like
Michelle
a fantastic
Pfeiffer. I know.
film.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy that she's been
I
in
haven't
a
seen.
couple of
Has she
movies.
been in stuff?
She was
Mother.
in that.
She was in Mother. She was in The Wizard of Lies.
Yeah, The Wizard of Lies. Yeah.
She
That's
did, no,
what I
she,
saw her.
she,
Okay,
she
yeah.
took
Yeah.
she took a lot of time off from Hollywood, doing very
Yeah.
little, and now she's back in full swing again. I love Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
She's my original love.
I remember her as Catwoman.
My original crush.
Willem Dafoe
Meow.
Yeah.
is in this. It's gonna be.
I didn't do it.
That's
It
gonna
was
be
not
crazy.
me that did it.
Not Christopher Walken.
It
you
was.
piece of shit.
Oh,
That's
did I?
Willem-
I was like, what's happening? Is that Willem Dafoe?
Wow.
I literally tried to figure out what movie you were quoting
We're a
Willem
legit
Dafoe
movie
in.
podcast when you mix up Willem Dafoe with
Dude,
Christopher Walken.
I don't know if I hadn't had coffee or something, but I don't know.
It makes
My
a
head's
difference.
just going to the opposite of what you
Dude,
say.
that coffee, man, it's
Yeah.
like a necessity.
Right.
Let me keep it going. I need my
no,
coffee.
No, if you want Willem Dafoe, you go, Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, back to let's get back on.
Oh
channel.
wow! I didn't know this. Leslie Odom Jr. is in it. The guy from Hamilton plays the original Aaron
That's
Burr.
right. That's right.
That's crazy. I didn't even know he's getting into
Yeah.
film.
So what's the movie about? Because you're just like reading the cast list.
Well,
right
mainly
now.
because when you watch a trailer, it's like that's all they show is like a shot of all the, which it makes sense
I like
because
it.
it's
It's-
character.
yeah.
It's a very, very character oriented situation.
So what's the basic story of it?
The basic story is this group of people, disconnected people, individuals, families, whatever, are on this train. It basically breaks down. There's like a murder, and Hercule Poirot is on the train. He has, I forget what he has, like basically kind of like a Watson type sidekick.
Okay.
And he basically decides that he's gonna solve this shit because it's what he does. He's a fucking detective. He like solves mysterious things or
Right.
whatever. And so he like quarantines everyone on the train and begins to like interview each person one by one.
Right.
And it's really interesting the way because Agatha Christie wrote like hundreds of these stories based on this character Hercule Poirot, and he has like there's like a pattern to how he handles every case. So he like does this whole investigation. You as the viewer have no idea really what's going on. They kind of like you think it could be this person or that person. Then at the end of every story, he gets all of the persons of interest together in a room. And then he just lays out all the facts, and then he like slams them with like, "What the fuck happened?" And it's never the person you thought it was.
Right.
Like almost, like
I hope it's him.
80%
I
of the
hope they
time.
flip it and he's the murderer.
I actually know. I mean, I've seen all the previous variations of it because I'm like, I love
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Like I love Sherlock Holmes and all that stuff. But I know what happens in the story.
Okay.
I don't know if they've changed this or not. If they stuck
Okay.
the original is that
They
shit
should
crazy.
change
I
it.
don't remember.
Do not watch it
no.
then. Like wait for this film because if he sticks
They
to the
should
original
change
ending,
it. That would be great.
Did you see
I saw. There's 3 versions, right? 3 or 4.
there was a 1974 version with Albert Finney played Hercule Poirot, and it had a bunch of people like Mia Farrow was in it.
Yeah.
And there were a couple television versions.
Yeah.
But if you remember, don't spoil it because it's crazy.
No, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm
It's
saying I
fucking
think they
crazy.
should. It's like the way the story is done. It would be a great opportunity to always flip who kills it when they revise it.
Oh well, all right.
I don't know. Okay.
I don't wanna say anything.
Don't say
I don't wanna
anything
say
else, 'cause
anything.
I don't want to.
Because
Well,
it's
let's-
nuts.
So
It's
you should
nuts.
watch it. We should.
I want
We
to see it. I definitely want to see it because
It's-
I've seen like one version at some point in my life, but I don't remember shit about it.
Yeah, it's one of those.
I'm having that and
it-
Clue.
Yeah, no, I think
I
a
love
Clue.
Clue.
I think a Clue. Yeah.
Please never.
Also,
remake
there was
that
an
movie.
episode of Murder She Wrote with Angela Lansbury back in
Yep.
the day where like she's on a train or whatever and somebody gets killed. I think there was one where she's on a
Yeah,
bus
it was like
too.
Murdoch with
Matlock.
Matt
With,
Murdoch.
Andy Griffith.
Oh, there is a Murdoch show actually, a BBC show
Yeah,
called Murdoch
yeah.
with the detective. But anyway, this is Murder on the Orient Express, and then there's another Agatha Christie story called "And Then There Were None,"
Yeah.
which have been remade like 100 times. But those two are kind of like universal stories that you don't really need to change how it ends, but
Right.
it's like the perfect film.
And you got a whole new
remake.
audience for it, for like Murder on the
Yeah.
Orient Express. Like I'm
Yeah.
excited to see the new one because I don't know how it ends. So it's like you could
It's-
keep it the same, and I would be fine with that.
You won't figure it out.
I won't.
You
We
won't.
should stop talking about it because
I actually want to see it
there's
with
gonna
you, just to like prove that you're not going to
It
figure out.
better be like an
what the hell
interactive
happened.
experience where I get to jump in and kill somebody, and I'm the killer.
the
Okay.
VR version.
But anyway, those are my
Yeah.
films.
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Great.
Oh
All
shit!
right.
I didn't say actually when Star Wars or Murder was coming out.
You sure didn't.
This
I
guy,
sure didn't.
this
You
guy, on
didn't-
there.
you gotta stay on this shit.
I
man.
gotta stay on it.
So The Last Jedi is
We
coming
gotta-
out December 15th, and Murder on the Orient Express is coming out November 10th.
Okay, December 15th and November 10th.
Yeah.
And Snowman was what? October.
Snowman is
22nd?
October 20th.
20th. Okay, cool.
At your house.
All right, great.
What?
All right.
At your
At your house. Me?
You want to go? Or you want me to go? Paper, rock, scissors.
People are
do you want?
I'm gonna do rock paper scissors. You know.
You got to do like.
All right, ready? Rock paper scissors.
1, 2, 3, bomb.
Scissors. Ah, gotcha.
Oh, he got me. So who goes?
2 out of 3. Just kidding.
Who goes?
I'll go.
Okay.
Wait, we didn't say. We didn't even say what it was. I'm gonna go. If I win, I go.
You're
I won.
won. What did I win?
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. So my first one, because you know I have to throw it in there because you guys never will. I gotta throw a blockbuster superhero film in there. And this is Boo.
What?
Boo.
Who was that?
Wait.
Was that you, Dick?
30th anniversary of Princess Bride. We have to go. Boo.
Boo.
Rubbish.
Rubbish.
Slime.
This is rubbish.
She had true love, and she throws it away. So bow down to her. Bow down.
Say the freaking film. Say the film.
Boo. Okay, I'm done. Thor Ragnarok.
Liar.
All right. Lie. Shut up, you witch. I'm not a witch. Shut up, you wife. Not even sure I want to be that anymore.
Burn him.
Okay, so, but serious, guys.
Okay, yeah. We're getting serious now.
Serious now.
About
Thor
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Also,
Now,
Kenneth Branagh
Kenneth
directed the
Branagh
first one.
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh, who's doing Murder on the Orient Express,
Yeah.
also directed the first Thor movie. Now, let's talk about these movies real quick. You have all these different Marvel movies. You have Thor, you have Captain America, you have the Hulk, you have Iron Man, Avengers, all that, right? Now, even Guardians of the Galaxy. But Thor movies they're not terrible, but they're weakest link.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I don't think they were weak.
I enjoyed this. I felt I
When
liked
I
the
say
whole
weakest link,
wildly different.
I like the movies.
Yeah.
They're good, but they're not fantastic. I think out of all of them,
What's Thor?
maybe...
It's
what?
the character.
Yeah, I just think it's like...
kind of like a brute.
Yeah, it's fine. It's I mean Loki's great in those films,
Yeah.
but it's just not as good as the other ones.
I think it's
okay?
always difficult when you have other universes.
Yeah,
being
Guardians of the
involved.
Galaxy does a great job of it though, and Thor not necessarily. They hadn't really. I don't think they'd really cracked how that was all going to work out. But this new one looks like they're changing up the formula a little bit. It looks very interesting. You have Jeff Goldblum shows
Yes.
up in it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he's the main villain or what exactly, but he's in it, and it's basically
I'm just a guy in the film.
Yeah. Jeff Goldblum always finds a way.
Yeah.
So,
course.
but you have, I mean, yes, he cut his hair, and that's like an indicator that the movie's different or whatever. Like Thor doesn't have this long hair. He's got this short cropped hair, and he's in some sort of Colosseum gladiator kind of situation going on. I don't know the exact story. It's
a
not
comic
very
book.
clear.
I know the story. It's a comic book.
You don't know the story.
The Ragnarok? It's a story from the comic book.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, so don't tell me I don't know the story.
And there was a lot of humor in the trailer, which is kind of like, I mean, it was funny, but it was like, I don't know.
What are you saying?
I don't know.
I didn't shit on any of your selections.
I'm not
Because
sure.
they're all
I know the
amazing
story. I know the
selections.
story.
Like, what do you mean?
Okay, what's the story?
I know the story about him going into this Coliseum. He gets thrown into this Coliseum to fight because he's basically trying to get his powers back. I'm trying to remember the comic as I go here.
Yeah, it's
so-
okay not
yeah,
to know it completely.
yeah,
You knew it
yeah.
at one point, and now you don't know it, and you just repeated everything I just said. But yeah, that's great, Diego.
Guess this guy
So
doesn't
let's-
let me finish. Yeah.
All right.
So Thor Ragnarok.
Let's wrap this
He's
up.
trying to get his rep back up to shorten it. Go ahead.
Okay,
It does
okay.
look good. It
No,
looks
it
very
looks good.
very
It's him
entertaining.
and the Hulk are the main two characters in it. Loki kind of shows up in the previews. I like
And
Yeah.
my girl, Galadriel.
from West. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's in
Kate
it.
Blanchett.
Yeah.
She seems to be the main villain actually. Kate Blanchett's like the main villain. It just looks great. I like the very. It has a interesting '80s retro theme.
Yeah, it has
going
a
on.
very Guardians
Even-
of the Galaxy feel.
Okay, whatever. And they also have like the Ragnarok, even the the titling and everything is like got this 80s throwback thing. So I just want to see the movie because I'm like, oh, it looks like they've changed it up. They didn't just go, oh, let's do a third Thor movie and make it feel like the same as the first two. They were like, first two were fine, but we need to change something else to like imbue some life into this particular title. So I want to see it. I want to see what they do with it exactly.
I like the first one.
Yeah, I like the first and the second one. I just didn't love them as much as I did the other Marvel films.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. So, anyways, that's Thor Ragnarok.
When's it coming out?
Who directed this movie?
This one is it's not what's his face. I was gonna say Alexander Payne, but he didn't do this one. I don't think. Taika Waititi.
Okay.
Waititi.
That's actually his name. Waititi.
Waititi. That's cool.
Yeah, he did Indie Fair. Like he did a movie called
Oh, cool.
Hunt for the Wilder People. The Captain.
I love that they're pulling in so many.
Oh
Like,
no, he
you
was
know,
an actor. He was an actor in Green Lantern. Oh, that's interesting. He's an actor too. He was in the Green Lantern, and he's directed a bunch of things.
Wow.
Hunt for the Wild People. What We Do in the Shadows. Boy, a movie called Boy. Oh, he did a few episodes of Flight of the Conchords.
Oh,
Directed
nice.
that, yeah.
Wow. God, that's like Going from Flight of the Conchords was like a great
That's
show,
broad.
but it was like
Yeah.
super low budget.
Totally.
And then to go to like this probably like $200 million budget film or something insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the guy who's directing this one.
Wow.
It's
Cool.
interesting.
Well,
Yeah. So that's that one, and that is coming out. I do have it here. I just closed it to go find out who directed it.
Oh, so you're
eat
not
a
prepared.
dick.
Get him, Neil. You're
Okay,
not being
November
prepared.
3rd.
See, that's the thing. That's the difference between me and Nick. I don't throw people under the bus.
The difference between me and you are a lot of things.
That's true.
Yes.
All right, what you got next?
Okay, so that's November 3rd, Thor Ragnarok. I like how I had a lot of support on that fucking movie, you piece of shit.
No, I'm ready to see what happens to
talk
Thor
about it.
in his journey to gain his power and his rights back.
Yeah, I'm sure
That's
it's
the
going to be
fucking
very
basis of the
entertaining.
story.
I just as if
We
anybody's listening
talked about,
Yeah, if anyone's listening to this podcast, they know that like when we started this podcast, I was already like overrun with the Marvel films.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's already too many films. I'm already like, my interest is waned significantly.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, you're not big on the Marvel films. You kind of like, if they passed you by, you wouldn't mind.
It's not that they're
It's
being-
funny because when I shit on Harry Potter, you're just like, what? And I'm like,
That is
I feel
not. I just couldn't believe that you're not like
I feel like all those movies.
you didn't,
they
and you
run
never
together.
shit on it. You were just like, they didn't grab me, and I'm like, I don't understand it. I didn't even-
All right, here's the second one.
All right.
Ready? The Disaster Artist. Let's talk
Oh,
about this movie. Let's talk
shit.
about this movie for a second.
Me and Diego have both seen The Room.
Okay,
which this
yes.
is
I have it.
based
So
on.
this movie is about making a movie. This is about a real guy, Tommy Wiseau. Or
Tommy
whatever.
Wiseau.
Wiseau, and he
Wiseau, yeah.
it made what's considered possibly the worst movie of all time.
Yeah.
It's kind of considered that way, like because he got a bunch of money.
He's
together.
a modern Ed Wood, basically.
Yes, he's like a modern Ed Wood. Like he was he wrote, acted, and started and directed
Produced.
this movie.
Raised all the
Produced
money.
it, raised all the money.
like $9 million.
and it is
That's
apparently.
crazy.
I've been wanting to watch this movie since I first read
So
an article
good.
about it, like close to 10 years ago. It is sounds and looks bananas, and it's just ridiculous. Now, this movie is about the guy and his making of this movie, but James Franco plays him,
Yeah.
and he looks just like him. Like he's got like this interesting makeup job,
Yeah,
or whatever. And the guy is ridiculous. Like he's just but he seems to be eternally optimistic. Like
He
he's a
is.
guy who just like.
Failure after failure after
He-
failure, he just keeps pushing forward.
Yes, he's,
like
he's terrible.
he's horrible.
But he's
actor.
always optimistic. He's
Yeah.
like Ed Wood. Ed Wood was like that.
Yeah.
And he goes like in the preview, he goes up to a director. It's actually Judd Apatow in a restaurant, and the guy goes, "You will never make a movie. Not in a million years will you make a movie. You should just quit." And he goes, "So you got that? Never in a million years." He goes, "So after a million years, like then can we do it?" Like he's just totally optimistic.
That's the
eternally.
story that's
Yeah.
being told. Is like
Yeah.
the guy made it happen.
Yes.
Like he made his garbage film.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
but it's and now it's like a cult
There's
classic.
there's like a
people love
scene
it.
where Seth Rogen, I guess, is playing like his assistant director or whatever,
Yeah.
and he goes, "So you made a set to look just like the alleyway, which is right there outside the room, outside the set. There's the alleyway. It's identical to that." He goes, "Why don't we just use the alleyway to shoot?" He goes, "Because this is big Hollywood movie. This is big real movie."
And when you watch the movie, like me and Tig have seen it, like there are obvious sets. Like there's a whole rooftop set that they built that looks fake.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like, why didn't you just film it on a rooftop and save yourself like $1 million for all the money you spent to build a fake rooftop?
Yes.
Like it just looks like you could see the backdrop of the sky and like all, and the performance is
The
like,
movie's crazy.
And the performances
The-
look
the
ridiculous.
continuity of that film is like that shit. Like it's like literally filmed to take like 40 times, but changed it every time.
Yes.
And then when they edited it together, they weren't consistent at all. Like
Right.
cups, things are shifting.
but that's the
tone
thing.
is shifting. Like 1 minute it's like smiles, the next like there's a
You know-
scene early on where the mother says she has cancer and she's just like
And
she
it-
says it like she's happy about it, and you're like, what the fuck is
But that's the whole thing about this film. Is like when you watch it, it makes no sense throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
That you sit there, and you're just like,
How did this get made?
you're making this face, like.
How did this
I
happen?
don't know.
How
what
did,
I
how did we
just
get
watched.
here? How did we
It-
get here?
It's kind of like if you missed the first 5 minutes of Rubber,
Yeah,
the
Yes.
tire,
and you watch
the
it, and you're
whole
like,
movie fails.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you have to watch that first monologue. If
Yeah.
you miss that monologue, the whole movie fail. And I feel like, I don't know, I missed something when I watched that film.
You know, it's funny though. I feel like we had the experience where we watched it before everyone knew it was garbage.
Yeah.
And before it became a cult classic. Like it was actually years, or it was like a year or 2 years after I saw it. Then I started reading articles online about how they were showing it in LA, and he actually started showing it in LA and changed it from like a drama to a black comedy.
Black comedy.
Because
Like,
people
he was like,
watched
oh yeah,
it and
okay.
laughed.
People were laughing.
Oh, he
at it.
just like was like that's the optimism of this fucking guy. Like he took a film that was supposed to be a drama about this guy and his life falling apart, a serious film, and he was like, it's a black comedy now because people laugh when they watch my movie. But like like I feel like now if you watched it, Nick, you're going into it already knowing it's garbage.
Yes,
like we had no idea. Like we just watched a movie that came out and we saw these reviews where people were like, you have to see this movie because it's so bad it's good. And you're like, oh, okay, well.
But now it's got
an
aura of
the culture. It's like it has pop culture tied
cult
to
classic,
it. You know?
exactly.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Like that. I would say that. Like I watched that movie like 3 times with my family and my uncle, and like we would say that like for like the next 3 years, like we would just yell that randomly.
We should get Tommy Wiseau on this podcast.
Oh, we should.
Would that blow your mind?
That would be amazing.
We're gonna go with that.
We should do it. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, we have to see the Disaster Artist first. Okay, I wonder how much he was connected to that whole process.
Now, if you don't know about The Room, you don't know about this guy, you haven't heard of this movie, please go watch the preview for The Disaster Artist. Just pull it up on your phone right now, The Disaster Artist, and watch this trailer. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It really looks good. And then, obviously, I'm going to go watch The Room before I see The Disaster Artist because I haven't seen it.
And James Franco looks great.
Yeah, he does.
Like,
and what happened? How did this guy all of a sudden become a great actor and a great... Like, this guy came out of nowhere. Like, I remember him in the Spider-Man films. I was like, nah. Freaks and Geeks, I guess he was in that.
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah, he was in that. And I was just like, this guy's whatever to me. And then all of a sudden, he's just in this great... He's a great artist. I don't know how that happened. Okay, that's December 8th, The Disaster Artist. Next one. This one, because my name's Nick Gambino, I have to mention this film, Gotti. Okay?
Yeah.
This movie, Gotti, John Travolta plays John Gotti, the head of the Gambino crime family in the 80s and the 90s until he died in 2000s.
I feel like I didn't... I knew Gotti was like mob.
Oh, you didn't realize
he was...
No, he was the head of the Gambino crime family.
Oh, shit. So it's like your great-granddad or something.
No. His name's John Gotti, not Gambino.
Nick Gambino's true story.
Now, he did know Carlos Gambino, who created the family, like, or really brought the family to the power that it was.
Yeah.
And John Gotti, basically the guy that Carlos Gambino turned over, the family to, Paul Castellano or whatever, was murdered by John Gotti in the 80s. He got the approval of the 5 families to basically take out. He did a hit on him outside a restaurant in New York, and then he took over the family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Gotti.
Godfather's loosely based on Gotti.
Carlos Gambino.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Carlo Gambino. Because John Gotti didn't come to power until the 80s, which was over a decade after The Godfather. The Godfather was loosely based on or was inspired by events of Carlo Gambino.
Okay.
Who was very apparently loved family, respected family, and stuff like that, and was not flashy at all. John Gotti, completely different from Carlo Gambino. John Gotti is the Teflon Don. This is the guy who was gaudy and out there and in the press, and you know what I mean? Everybody knew him. Everybody knew this guy was the head of the Gambino crime family, and he was just out there doing his thing, and he just was not shy about it at all.
Yeah.
And but things wouldn't stick to him. They couldn't get him. He was a Teflon Don until Rudy Giuliani. He took him out, and then he went to prison, and he died of cancer in the early 2000s in prison. Wow. So you had reality shows, Growing Up Gotti, which was about, I guess, his daughter and her sons, so his grandsons, and but this movie is John Travolta playing John Gotti.
Yeah,
they've been planning on making this movie for several years now, and it had an earlier iteration where it was almost coming together. And Joe Pesci was supposed to be in it, played one of the mob bosses. He gained a bunch of weight for the film, and then all of a sudden they were like, "No, we want you to play a different guy in the movie." So he sued them. Because he's like, I literally gained all this weight for this role, and now you're like, oh, no, we don't want you to play him. We want you to play somebody else.
This is why Joe Pesci doesn't do movies anymore, because this kind of bullshit.
Yes, exactly.
You're kidding me? What? You want me to lose?
I miss Joe Pesci.
I miss Joe Pesci so bad. I was so happy to know that he was going to be in this movie, and he was going to be back in that kind of a film. What do you mean? You mean I amuse you? Like I'm some fucking comedian? So anyways, but John Travolta's in it. Kelly Preston's actually in it, plays John Gotti's wife.
Oh wow!
So she's in it. It looks solid. Like I'm curious because John Travolta hasn't been making great films as recent. Almost kind of like
he's been phoning it in a little bit.
He's been phoning it in. I mean, he's great. This is John Travolta. Like he's earned his stripes.
Yeah, I feel like
in the last few years, have been almost these straight to DVD
I think his
type movies.
stripes kind of went through the washer a little bit. That's
but
why I'm
still,
concerned.
that's like no, but it's fine. Robert De Niro and Al Pacino do the same thing. They got shitty movies, but these guys have
that's
classics.
true.
You can't take away from that. It's like sometimes in their older age, they just
It
want
is
to make
weird.
movies. Because he was in Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3 in the last 10 years. That was great. John Travolta was.
That was
in
a
that
while
with,
back, though.
It was 10
That was
years
a
ago.
while
What I'm
back.
saying is like that wasn't that long ago. Like he did have decades of great movies. He had
he was
Grease
in
and Saturday Night Fever and Urban
he's
Cowboy.
done a couple. He was in that Savages movie. The
Savages.
wasn't
He
Face
was in,
Off.
odd movie, but
yeah, he was in that that Paris with Love.
Like,
which he was
Paris
great
with
in.
Love.
this happens all the time. Like I just saw Anthony Hopkins.
Nobody
in,
named
like
Face
this
Off?
Face Off,
psycholo-
yeah, in the 90s. Face Off
yeah.
and Phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
Michael? He was great in
Michael?
Michael.
Yeah, he was great in
Yeah,
Michael.
he's had a lot of solid
He
films.
has a lot of
He's
stuff
great.
over the decades.
And I'm hoping Gotti.
Look who's talking, Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Oh,
Pulp Fiction.
yeah. Look who's-
Pulp
yeah.
Fiction.
Well, that was
Oh,
his
shit.
Comeback.
Yeah.
I hope
But-
he does well because I love him as an actor, but recently he just hasn't, like you guys said, he hasn't shown up.
Exactly.
What's funny is it's funny that we refer to Pulp Fiction as a comeback for him when really his claim to fame prior to that was Carrie and
and
fucking
Welcome Back, Kotter was a TV show.
Well, yeah, and then Grease.
Grease.
like
and
everyone
Saturday
knew
Night
him.
Fever, and Saturday Night Fever.
And Saturday Night
Grease
Fever. All right, so I guess he
Lightning.
did have like more.
He
like,
did
yeah.
Blowout 1980.
Oh,
Brian De Palma.
Sandy.
That
Oh, I
was,
never
he was
saw it.
great in that. With Carrie and Blowout were both.
Why
You left me, oh Sandy. From Grease.
From Grease.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Sandy.
What?
Wait a minute. Did you say you hadn't seen Grease?
Breaking news.
I know
brought to
that
you-
song at the end. You know, we gotta want I don't know what
You're
they
the one
say.
I want.
Oh, is that what they
Don't
say?
talk, Neil. Don't talk, Neil.
I just hear like a
Do
blur
not
in my
talk,
mind,
Neil.
like
Oh, you're an insane person right now. You need to watch Grease. Seriously, it's a good
Oh my
movie.
Gosh. this guy-
That's never interested me.
Okay, it's
Our
a good
ratings
movie.
just went
Okay.
fucking down.
Okay.
Did they?
Okay.
Really? Are that
It's
many?
weird
Grease,
because we're talking about John
whatever?
Travolta
Okay.
and not having great roles recently, and we totally forgot this guy was in The People versus O.J. Simpson.
Oh.
and,
shit!
And he was a producer on that, and he won an Emmy.
He was
for his
fantastic.
producing. He
Yeah, that's
produced
right.
it, and he was fantastic in it. So this guy is solid.
He's coming back,
just
yeah.
grabbing the wrong roles, right? So Gotti, I'm hoping it's good. I don't know. It might just be a whatever movie.
Who's,
but he
who's directing it?
Say that again.
It might. Be
I don't know. It might be a whatever.
It might be a
The New York is coming out.
It might be a whatchamacall. Who knew?
Is that
forget-
Boston or is
forget
that
about it.
Boston
Forget
or
about it.
New York?
I don't know. All right, but Gotti is directed by. I forgot about this. No, it's directed by Kevin Connolly. You know who Kevin Connolly is? That's E from Entourage, the redheaded kid.
Oh shit.
yeah.
Oh wow!
So he directed this movie because he's been trying to be a director. He directed a bunch of episodes of Entourage. He done anything. In fact, when he was cast in Entourage, he planned on not being an actor anymore. He was just trying to be a director. He was trying to move behind the cameras, and they pulled him in with that role. And he was like, shit. But he continued to pursue act. He did a great 30 for 30 ESPN documentary.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He did a great one on that. So
That's
anyway,
crazy.
so he's a great director. He's shown like he's done some great things. So he's now directing Gotti. I hope it's good. He's a hungry director. So
Yeah.
that's a good sign.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. And he's been around Hollywood forever.
Yeah.
And he's been, worked with great directors. So we'll see what happens. Anyways,
Cool.
that's Gotti. December 15th. That movie's coming out.
Okay. Oh shit! Same day as Star Wars:
Oh yeah, that's true.
Last Jedi.
Well, I know I'm seeing Gotti before I see Star Wars. Come on. Just kidding.
Wow.
Just
All right.
Wow.
All right, so there you go.
All right.
So I had the disaster.
They might be both. I'm sure they're both going to be good.
Yeah, so I had Thor
Yeah.
Ragnarok. I had the Disaster Artist and Gotti.
I'm definitely going to see Disaster Artist.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Fucking
All right. So
piece of shit. I love calling you a piece of shit. It's just fun. It's just fun.
it just flows out of my mouth. Piece of shit. Anywho. All right. My list.
Yes.
There we go.
My list. Oh my gosh. These are like super up there, like climatic, just blockbuster, orgasmic.
I don't want to hear about them now.
They're just
Three
I
men
mean,
in a room. I'm good. I don't want to talk about orgasm.
yeah. I mean, like your pants are already off. I don't know why, but I'm just saying.
Dude,
Stop.
I don't wear pants.
What is happening?
I don't know what's happening, but I want out.
All right.
I want out. I want to opt
no,
out.
I'm
of
just
this.
kidding. I'm kind of going more in the subtle form of film.
I wish you would just fucking say it.
So
I
the
love
fir-
that whole intro, and now it's like, oh, actually, no,
So-
These are subtle.
They're yeah.
My first film, and I'll apply to our rules, which is coming out December 8th, is The Shape of Water. I had to
Yeah.
actually look at the title to make sure I said
The
it
Shape of
correctly.
Water.
Yeah,
this
this
looks
Shape of Water.
good.
Guillermo
This
del Toro?
tape- Yeah, Guillermo del
Guillermo del
Toro.
Toro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very
boy.
excited about this film because you think of the Swamp Thing,
Yeah.
and that's what I thought this film was about, but it's actually it might
different.
not be. I
It looks
don't
like a
know.
twist
Oh,
on
Michael
it looks
Shannon's
like a
in
twist
it, and
on
he's-
it.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Michael Shannon is on it.
He's
Is
my
in
favorite
it
now.
Yeah, exactly. So this basically is about this woman who works at this this uh government location, and they have a laboratory there, and she somehow wanders into the laboratory and she finds this experiment,
Yeah.
which is basically this creature that seems like the Swamp Thing, and they establish a relationship, and the whole movie is how they start creating a communication through it, and then really does, when you see the trailer and you see that throughout, and then the last like 15 seconds of the trailer you see all these other things start happening with the creature, where people are after her or people are after the creature, so it seems like it got out, it got released, and so, but you don't know after that, you don't really know what happens in the film. So, but I'm super excited about this film.
It's got this almost sort of like, I don't want to say E.T., but I guess E.T., Project X, this interesting thing where it's like they're doing these experiments on this thing, and there's this one, main person, human or whatever, that's has sympathy or empathy for this character, and is befriending them, and then they're befriending each other. There's this bond that's forming, and she wants to help.
Correct.
And I like that. I like that story. It's not necessarily a love story or whatever, but there's
it's the Frankenstein.
It has some darkness to it.
is-
Yeah, it has to.
He can
exactly
kill, but
Frankenstein.
there's that these monsters can have compassion.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
handled
the right. Yes,
way,
exactly.
if you're
That
like,
Harry and the Hendersons thing. I don't know. I like it. I like
well,
that.
Harry never killed nobody.
No, but
That we know of,
he could.
right?
Yeah, no, he's like
He could.
Lenny. He's like Lenny from Of Mice and Men. He just squeezed somebody a little bit too tight, popped their head off.
That's true.
Poof.
Yeah, he wouldn't intentionally kill anybody, but
No,
he
no.
wasn't very intelligent. Anyway, so
Guillermo del Toro has not had like a bad film. As
No.
far as I'm
No,
concerned.
he has
I have not.
no,
seen
not,
that film.
no. Some people would argue that Pacific Rim wasn't great, but
I
I
actually
enjoyed
really
it.
liked.
I don't know what
Pacific
people
Rim.
were talking about. I thought that was a good film. They were like, "It's Transformers meets Godzilla," and I'm
It was
like,
better than Transformers as far as
"Yeah,
I'm
first
concerned.
Transformers was solid, but I don't know." Anyways,
No, it's so I'm super.
you even said that fucking like 2 podcasts ago. You piece of shit.
The first one.
You piece of shit. Yes, that's what I said. The first one.
Yeah.
Alright.
So
Okay.
But
I'm
it's better
excited
than
about it 'cause-
Armageddon.
I'm excited about it because
I hate
I
you.
like Michael Shannon, and he's in
Yes.
it.
Michael
And
Shannon's great.
he I love when he plays bad roles. 'Cause
Who's the lady? Is it Sally
It's
Hawkins?
Sally Hawkins.
It is
yeah.
Sally Hawkins.
Sally
I like
Hawkins.
her.
Yeah, so she's really good. She just got this homey feel to her.
Yeah.
And so I think she's gonna be great as.
So it takes place in the 60s? 70s?
No, I think 20s.
That's not Cold War.
No, I'm sorry.
You said Cold War, but it
Oh,
is
yeah, you
early.
did
Is it
say.
40s? Oh, is it World War
1962.
1962. Correct.
62,
I don't know why I
yeah.
said 20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Right.
my next film hasn't got a lot of notoriety, but I think has an incredible fucking cast in it, and it's called The Last Flag Flying.
The Last Flag Flying.
Yes. So the whole
Try
story.
saying that 10 times
Yeah.
fast.
The last
So-
flag flying.
Yeah. So
Say
check.
it once.
Flying?
Flying.
So
Flying.
Flying.
Bryan Cranston,
Oh.
Lawrence Fishburne,
Oh.
Stephen Carell. Those are the three main actors.
Stephen Carell? Who's that?
Steve
Carell?
Carell. Steve
Oh.
Carell. Yeah, Stephen Carell. Dude, I suck
Who's
today.
that?
Whatever.
No, those people know.
I just added.
He
Look,
probably goes by Steven. in
Yeah,
his-
he
here's
absolutely
the
does
thing.
not.
He made it I missed one letter and he made it a total fail. Who the fuck is that? Just said an N.
Oh,
Nick.
I'm an asshole. I'll be the first to admit it. I'll be the
It said
first to
Stevie
admit it.
Carell. Stevie
Yeah.
Carell. That would have been better.
ST Carell.
Stevie Carell. You know him. He sings.
But
great
anyways-
songs.
Steve King. Steve Spielberg. Okay, go ahead.
So this movie's more of a
Stevie
drama.
Stevie
yes,
Winwood.
Yeah, Stevie. Yeah. So this movie's more of a let's laugh when this movie's a drama.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The Last Flag Flying.
Yeah, the
Go
Last Flag Flying is a film about these three Marines who fought in Vietnam, and they get back together to bury one of their sons.
ahead. Okay.
And so it's basically this journey about them going to bury his son. And from what I got from the trailer was that he didn't want his son to be buried at a certain place. So they actually take the casket and they travel with his son to go bury him somewhere else.
Mm.
And it's all about, these three guys and how they're close to each other. And so I'm really excited about this film because it's a real. I don't know. I
It's
think
like a-
fall season is the season of feelings, to me,
Drama,
and
yeah.
drama and stuff. So I think this fits the fall season, and I think this is a great film for people to try and go see.
Is it like an
So-
indie drama, like kind of thing, just following these three brothers?
It is.
These three-
It does have an indie feel to it.
Okay.
Richard
It is-
Linklater directed it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
that's all you
yeah.
had to say too. I mean, it sounded good, but Richard
So-
Linklater is a great director.
He did
He-
the Before trilogy.
He did the
and all that.
Before trilogy, and
Yeah.
Boyhood,
Boyhood.
Dazed and Confused.
So I'm excited about
He
this
wrote
film.
it
Just
too.
Mm.
Yeah, just because I love
Yeah, he
all
writes
those
all the
actors. I think Lawrence Fishburne, he doesn't do a lot of these.
He
roles.
doesn't.
He does. I'm surprised he's in
Yeah.
a
And
Richard
he's
Linklater
still
film.
like a solid ass actor.
He is
I saw him in
super
some
solid.
B sci-fi
And
horror movie, and I was
Yeah.
like, he was like amazing in it. But
anyways, so it's called Last Flag Flying. Richard
Last
Linklater.
Flag Flying. It comes out
Yeah.
October 18th.
Yeah, Richard Linklater's never phoned it in. This guy writes and directs
Yeah.
all his own things. He sticks in that indie wheelhouse, and he's phenomenal.
Yeah, let me correct that. It's October 16th, not October 18th. I said
Okay,
18th.
so it's coming out October 16th.
16th.
The Last Flag Flying.
Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah. Oh, they changed the date on me.
I don't
These
know. That's
motherfuckers.
IMDb though.
Oh, is it not a fall movie?
No.
No, it is.
still
It's November
It still
3rd,
is.
but I have where I searched it. It said October 16th.
Okay,
So
so
these
it's coming out-
dates are like all over
Yeah,
the place.
so-
Well, no,
yeah.
it depends where you're looking. Like some are being released internationally first, some are being
Yeah.
released here. Sometimes they're in limited release and wide release.
So I might have been in an international version.
oh wait,
of it,
what's it? November 3rd.
November
Yeah.
3rd here in the United States.
Okay, so November 3rd.
So
Is it Last Flag Flying or the last?
it's Last Flag Flying.
Okay,
Drop the
Yeah.
great.
Drop the duh. All right,
Last one.
last one.
Oh, drum
I'm gonna take
roll.
it back. I'm gonna take it back. This is going back into day. I think it's the Cold War too. Actually,
You don't even know what the Cold War was.
I
You
actually
said
completely
You're like the
forgot.
1920s.
Do we know what this is? I
No.
completely forgot. Actually,
I don't remember what his last movie is. Oh, I do know what his last movie is.
Yeah, you
It's-
did.
No, this is This is World War II
World
era.
War
I
II
think.
era, correct?
No, or is it? Yes, it is.
No, it's
in the
World War
40s.
II.
Yeah, in the 40s, I
Yeah,
believe.
it was in. The
Oh, this is
40s.
my.
This is
is
the
this-
one that I gave him.
Is
I
there
tossed
honey?
this to you. I
Is
almost
this honey?
Mm.
Yes,
honey?
Yes.
Buckets of
Ooh,
honey?
buckets of honey. Where are we going with
Oh,
this?
say it.
It's Tiggerific. I know that. All right. So we're talking about Goodbye, Christopher Robin.
Goodbye, Christopher Robin.
Oh, there was that song.
No, that's not really what it is. It's good.
Was it? But there was, wasn't there was a song?
American Pie.
No, wasn't there a song?
Christopher
Let's
Robin.
not
I
even
don't know. I
with
just
that yet.
confused you.
So this story is about the whole making of the world of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Is how he created, and so it's.
Off
Go ahead.
AA
So, yeah, this
Mills.
looks great.
Nick just made his face and flicked me. I don't know why you were
Because
flicking.
I want to talk.
All right, talk,
Okay,
Nick. Talk,
all right.
Nick. Talk about my film, Nick.
I gave you this film. It's on my list, and you're like, "Can I please have that?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can have
No,
it."
you
There you
called
go.
me.
I threw you scraps like a dog. Anyways,
Wow.
Just because he
Holy
has.
shit.
Did you remember when he walked? Okay, so I want to stop the podcast for a second. When he walked in and we were prepping for the podcast, this motherfucker said, "I have 7 films on my list." Okay, we said come up with 3, and he's saying he threw me a film. You have 7 on your list, man.
I don't know. I'm more on the ball than you guys. I don't know what to say. You guys came with 2 each, and we're trying to figure out your third one. And I'm like, I got plenty
So
to
I
give.
tell
I'll
you
let
what.
you keep disaster artist.
Okay.
I tell you what. So this is
I'll let you
basically
keep disaster artist.
we'll share it. We'll
I
share
like
it.
how
All
I let you keep.
Yeah, I was gonna give you that disaster artist too. Okay.
right,
no,
so
let's-
we'll share it. So
Yeah, but
go ahead.
okay. Goodbye, Christopher Robin. So first off, in case you don't know, Winnie the Pooh, you have Chris, the one human character really in those books
Christopher Robin.
is Christopher Robin. It's a
yeah.
little boy, right?
Based
Um,
on the author's son.
That's right. It's based
Exactly,
off the
yeah.
author's son, whose name was Christopher Robin. He was a real kid.
Exactly.
And this movie is about the father. Is A.A. Milne?
A.A. Milne.
Milne.
Like Milne.
Yeah, I say
Milne?
Milne. Maybe it's Milne.
Milne?
I don't know.
Milne?
But he
It was
basi-
Christopher Robin.
Depends where you're
Milne
from.
was the
That's
boy.
right. So he's trying to figure out his next, like what he's gonna write. He's feeling uninspired. I don't know if he was. I think he was in the war. He was in. He's British, but I think he was in World War
Opium
II.
was all over the place.
Yeah,
at
so
the
he's
time.
having issues himself.
Yeah.
Like, and he's
Getting high.
having a trouble. But he has this one bright spot in his life. He has this bright spot in his light. Okay.
That's how Tigger came up. That's how he created the character Tigger, right?
He was hallucinating.
Yeah. Okay.
On drugs. yeah.
No, he's not C.S. Lewis doing Alice in Wonderland. Was that C.S.
Oh.
Lewis? That was.
No,
no,
Alice in
that
Wonderland was
Lewis Carroll. Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll was doing drugs like crazy when he wrote that shit. That's a fact.
That's not a fact at
That's
all.
No, it is a fact.
It's the opposite of what a fact is. To be
Dude,
honest,
look it up. He was doing opium. It was like It was everybody was
he
taking
did this
opium
for
back
these
then.
kids. He was imaginative.
Oh, he was high as a kite.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
Neil, you have to.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
while we
Are
talk
you
about
guys
the
talking about
while
it?
we talk about the film, you research
Let's
that
go
shit.
fly a
And-
kite after we smoke a crack pipe. Okay, so
Let's go.
okay, A.A. Milne or Milne, whatever, however you
Yeah.
pronounce it. He was in the war, and he came back, and like the only bright spot of his life was
Son.
this boy, his son, Christopher Robin, and they get this stuffed bear, and they end up calling Winnie the Pooh, and he starts creating these children's stories about Winnie the Pooh, and you have Tigger and Eeyore, and it blows up, and it's huge, and it's all about his real son. So this boy is really like this. He's just I
The
don't know
inspiration.
the inspiration, and I love the character, and he's trying to understand and he starts getting all these letters, and he becomes like this huge character himself, this real life boy,
Correct.
because the book is based off of him and his experiences with his stuffed bear and all that, and it just looks amazing.
Homey.
It just looks
homey.
It just looks inspiring. It looks like that bond between father and son, and it. I don't know. The previews just look great. It looks like it's a feel good movie, but it isn't. It's not just like trying to manipulate you into feeling good. Like it's a great story. Donald Gleason.
It reminds me of Finding Neverland.
Yes, it's
With,
like with J.M.
Very good
Barrie.
call. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, who did Peter Pan. Exactly. It's got that kind of thing. It's the true story behind how Winnie the Pooh was created. And what's his face? Donald Gleason, who was in that new movie American Made. He was in About Time with Rachel McAdams. He was in the new Star Wars Force Awakens.
Yep.
He was in that. He's a great actor, but he plays the father. Anyways, I think it looks great. It's worth, if you watch the preview, Goodbye Christopher Robin, I think you'll get why we're saying this movie looks great.
I'm excited to see. I think I like the homey feel, but I like the fact that we are going to actually see and learn where all these characters that we grew up with came from.
I
how
like
they
those
got
kind of movies.
inspired.
They're doing one on Wonder Woman. The guy who created Wonder Woman, and it's kind of crazy. He's he's got like a girlfriend or wife or whatever, and then they have another girlfriend. They have like a threesome thing going on, and that kind of like it's this strange kind of story behind Wonder Woman.
The guy that created
Wonder Woman and
character.
Yes, and
Okay.
it kind of like inspired by this relationship he was having with these two women and everything. It's kind of crazy. God, what's
So I can tell you right now,
They call
but
that
this
polygamy?
film takes.
Is he married to both of them?
Yeah, no, like one of them, I think one of them was like a girlfriend or something.
Oh, it's just side chick.
No, because it was together. They were all doing it together.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I don't know what.
So
that's called.
I don't. So
That's
looking
It's
at some
called
stuff.
Professor Marston and the Wonder Women.
Okay.
Professor Marston and the Wonder Women, and
Wow.
it's Rebecca Hall, Luke Evans, Connie Britton is in it. Story of psychologist William Moulton Marston, the polyamorous relationship between his wife and his mistress, the creation of his beloved comic book character Wonder Woman, and the controversy the comic generated.
Wow.
It looks interesting. It just I guess maybe it already came out. I don't know, or it's just coming out in limited release. It's coming out in a few days. So I probably should have that on my list because that one does interest me. But
No,
it's
you don't
similar
get
to this.
4.
No, I'm not. But I've been saying Goodbye Christopher Robin.
You already got
You don't
4.
get- Wait, he gets 4. I
technically.
get 4.
No,
No, I'm just saying
shit.
Goodbye Christopher Robin. Then you had this. Then you had that Finding Neverland. Like there's these stories about the behind the scenes of like what inspired these. Oh, even the Disaster Artist is kind of like showing the creation of his art.
Yeah.
I like these movies about the creation of art that we've fallen in love with.
Exactly.
Whether they're movies or books or whatever.
Yeah.
And it seems like the film is going to take place in from when Christopher Robin's young to an older.
Oh, does it? Does
Yeah.
it?
Oh.
Yeah, the reason why I figured that out is because there's 2 actors. One's going to play him at 8 years
Oh.
old, and the other one's going to play
It could
him
be
at
like a
8.
cap at the end of it, or it could be him telling the story when he's older in the beginning.
Well, it's possibly going to take it to when the writer dies.
Oh, okay. When it's
They're
dad.
gonna
When
have-
father
That's
dies,
my
yeah. I have a feeling-
premonition.
I have a feeling this movie's going to be amazing and emotional. Like I
Yeah.
feel like it's going to be that
I
kind of a
feel
movie, and it's
Nick's
going to
gonna
be
cry.
that
It's gonna
father and
change his
son.
life.
The thing is, these movies about the parents and their kids, like holy shit! As a parent now, these never created that kind of. Very rarely did I get like emotional with these kind of movies.
Tell us about how you feel.
No.
It's like I'm
No.
having feelings again. Like a 12-year-old boy.
You remember feelings? Don't
You remember
Neil?
feelings? Yeah.
Oh,
Are you saying you
what
don't have
You don't have
feeling.
feelings? I
I
have
have
feelings every
feelings
day of
every
my life.
Anyways, no, but like I watched this and because of the bond between me and my daughter, there's this feeling, I don't know, like there's these feelings I never had before.
Yeah.
And this understanding of that dynamic. And I
This
watch
is
that.
So cute.
I watch that and I get emotional and I feel it and I understand it. Even movies where they lose their kids or movies when the kid, like I don't know. It's just, there's something about it. So Goodbye Christopher
Yeah,
Robin.
you can like relate.
I can really
Yeah,
relate.
really
like,
relate.
And I didn't think that would ever be something that would open up this whole new avenue of movies I would appreciate or stories I would understand and empathize with. And
Right.
Diego's over here
I've
crying.
never seen this side of Nick.
We got-
I'm a softie at heart. So Goodbye Christopher Robin did that for me. And the kid
Yeah.
looks like they got cast a great kid. He brightens up just when he
Yeah.
smiles.
I feel like they're gonna have a Stand By Me type
Yeah.
ending, you know?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
Christopher Robin's gonna be like
Oh.
narrating, like, you
Yeah.
know, and that was the summer my
I
dad
never-
came up with
Summer
the-
of
I never had a
69.
father like the
Yeah.
father I had when I was a kid.
I never had another father like that.
Oh wow, that'd be crazy. The whole film is about the dad understanding the son, and the end of the story is the
Yeah.
son telling him.
And I like the whole World
Yeah.
War II because even like he asked his mom one point.
Why
in the
haven't they made a J.R.R. Tolkien
They probably
film,
will. Well,
like biopic or
probably the
something.
estate. The estate are very.
God
clamping
damn
down.
those estate.
But
people.
I like there's a scene in the movie where he asks his mother why everybody loves these books so much, and they're like, because it gave people were very unhappy and didn't have hope anymore after the war, and people were very sad, and it made people happy again.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's great. That's kind of like the story behind the Shirley Temple films. Why that. That was done during the Depression era. People were really depressed, so they would go to the movie theaters and see Shirley Temple, and it would just brighten them up. She was just like a ball of sunshine, and she would just make them smile in a time when they were barely smiling.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I like those stories.
Annie.
Yeah,
yeah.
Annie. Anyways.
Wow. That's a great list, Diego and Nick.
Yeah, and Neil.
What? I feel like, wow, this was
No, I'm just saying because I had to share my last one with him because it was from his list.
Lame.
Yeah.
I will say that there is much controversy over whether or not Lewis Carroll took drugs.
You looking that up?
There are a lot of people that believe he was on opium because it was widespread during that time period, and he does reference many opium type reactions
and
in the book, but they have no direct evidence.
That's
Well, that's
true.
just like saying that
opium.
right now, since opium is also widespread, we're
It is
doing this
actually
podcast
widespread,
with
yeah.
opium.
Yeah. So the thing is,
Wait,
like,
what?
I used to hear this.
Yeah, you said yeah.
Here's what I used to hear. People were like, "Yeah, Lewis Carroll was taking LSD." I was like, "Absolutely not.
He wasn't.
LSD
didn't exist.
invented way later."
yeah.
It didn't exist.
I was like, "But it was
would have been
hallucinogens."
opium,
Yeah, opium,
which
But
is a hallucinogen,
and there
he
are
does.
indicators of it in there, and he may have been on it. He may have known about it, or he was just creating a fantasy, crazy,
He might have experimented.
Yeah.
filled story, and he did. He told these stories to kids. He was creating it for them. They asked for this story. There was a real
Well,
girl
there's
named
also
Alice.
there's a whole weird thing. It's
gotta
like
understand
people
the
consider it
era.
a child's story, and they don't want to associate drug use with
Yeah.
Correct.
children's stories. So that's the
But
reason
the
there's so
Mad
much
Hatter is
pushback.
pretty
Like
messed up.
he wasn't on drugs. That's all.
I'm excited about these films.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I
totally.
really am.
Yeah.
So your films were
The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water,
It was
Last Flag
Last
Flying.
Flag Flying, and then it also was Goodbye Christopher Robin.
Oh, when
Goodbye,
is that
Christopher
coming out?
Robin. When is that coming
That
out?
comes out on October 16th.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
October 16th. Goodbye.
Check if I got the international date or if,
No, October 16th is Goodbye
Okay,
Christopher
all right,
Robin. It's actually out in the UK right now,
It's-
apparently.
okay, yeah.
But it's Goodbye Christopher Robin's October 16th. All right, cool. So
And
there's our list.
What were your movies?
Shit, I've recapped them like 40 times. Thor,
Oh, all right.
Ragnarok, The Disaster Artist, and
Gotti.
Gotti. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to end on the best three.
Oh, yeah.
The Snowman, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and Murder on the Orient Express.
Cool.
Those were my.
Cool. And as we end on the best, this is Diego saying goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us
Well.
at Get to the Thank you for joining us at Get to the Podcast. That's Get to the Podcast with the number 2. So check us out on social media, our website, where we're not only putting our podcast up, we got stories of what's going on in entertainment. I'm Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
And this is where we say goodbye, Christopher Robin.
Christopher Robin.
Christopher Robin.
Goodbye.
Is this
Goodbye.
I don't feel good.
We're making this up. We're freestyling.
Oh,
we're
you're
freestyling.
freestyling.
We're
Okay, I
doing-
was like,
yeah.
I don't know, remember this shit.
We're
from-
freestyling.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.